Science, the fake news of human lifetime. It's always been fake. The earth is flat. There's having a bunch of people review research and data is garbage. We don't need it. Listen to your leader. Follow your leader. He will lead you to salvation. That's what you're getting at, right?
No, not at all. It's kind of ridiculous.
Well, what were you getting at?
No, like I may be a carpet salesman, but like my background is in science. Like carpet is a fascinating thing because it's a material and it's made from surprise. It's made from petroleum products, and so like an honest person who's going to be understanding of the entire value chain of what they sell, plus having a scientific background, I know that this petroleum product of carpet, you know, it came out of the ground, it got mined, some part of it got turned into fossil fuel, because some part of it turned into gas, some part of it turned into methane. The dredge got turned into plastics and like carpet. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But what frustrates me is like how people will flippantly talk about climate change and demonize petroleum as a product. And while I don't really decry their desire to transition away from gasoline as a fuel source into something else for their automobiles or even their heating, they're never, ever, ever going to get away from plastic. And honestly, all you got to do is look back into the past. Look back into the past before plastic was common. Okay, how did people seal up things? How did people create sterile environments? How did people do anything that had like
Dump rubbing alcohol on it and light it on fire?
no, like well, plastic has its place and its purpose, right? Like you're not gonna do you want to collect a bunch of sheep and have a carpet made out of sheep's wool? And what kind of harm is that going to cause? Like how many acres of land do you need to have in Ireland?
My great granduncle was a sheep thief. Actually, I just learned that earlier today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next podcast. But
Okay. Well, you have to share that and like maybe have some other family members on your podcast to explore that.
maybe I will.
Yeah. But like the natural fiber of wool to turn into a carpet, extremely expensive. Most people wouldn't be able to afford it, for one. And two, there'd be extreme environmental damage from the amount of sheep it would require to feed on some land to produce all that fiber, right? Whereas you could just ooze out some synthetic fiber from some petroleum leftovers into some carpet that could be used in your home that doesn't off gas because it's been treated properly, because that's how our company works. And yeah, like petroleum's always going to be there. Petroleum, what's the syringe for your immunizations made from? Plastics. The test tubes in medical science, glass, plastic, rubber, things like that, is they all go together. You're never going to get away from plastic. You want to seal something in plastic wrap. Before we had plastic, what did people do? They wrapped it in wax paper. It didn't last that long.
Are you telling me that that plastic is like the deep state of chemicals?
No, plastic is the unavoidable thing that you just can't get away from.
Yes.
The alternative is impossibly detrimental to all of human society.
Wow.
It's a regression. It's a fundamental regression. Like, I mean,
So we're
I
fucked?
no, well, I mean, like think about it. Like, you you
We
buy
fucked ourselves.
no, you buy stuff at a grocery store. It's wrapped in plastic. It's wrapped in plastic. Why? To seal it away from pathogens, so that it doesn't get infected with bacteria and rot or get a person sick, right? And it does that effectively, right? Can any environmentalist name me one single product out there that's as effective and cost effective to replace it? The answer is no.
Metal.
No, it's too expensive.
Precious metals.
Even glass, it's all way too expensive. Plastic is cheap. So, cry as they might, it's not going away, right? Like you can work around it. You can come up with alternatives. Like my wife has gotten really into silicone. Silicone is a good alternative. I don't even know what it's made.
What
from.
the fuck? What are you telling?
No, but like
Hold on.
to
She
like
got what?
not implants. I know where you're going, you perv. No,
Well, I'm asking. I mean, you talk. Oh, my wife with the silicone over here.
silicone for like sealing a bowl of leftovers.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like a silicone covering on a bowl, silicone.
I got I got a
to
one-track mind, and you bring your goddamn family whiskey
to-
in here and get me
to
all
rep-
fucked up.
so there are some alternatives. Renewables are a way to look at things. I mean, I gotta say, like I like to sell carpet that it either lasts a long time, so you don't need to replace it so frequently, or something that is renewable. If it's a renewable, then you could replace it in a few years and feel good about yourself because yeah, it may have expired after 5 years, but it was installed with the intention of being renewable, and you knew it, and then we put in something new after 5 years, and you're good with that, But I mean, that's the kind of world we live in. You can have renewables, but it means more frequent replacement, or you have something like a plastic that lasts forever and displaces the renewables, but also displaces anything else like itself because it lasts so long.
This is some of the most informative shit I've ever heard in my life.